I know you addressed this on the Lockdown Browns podcast. Amari Cooper wants an extension. There's some things that are challenging from his aspect relative to the Browns. Analytic front, young wide receiver room that they want to see grow. Take us through that and kind of how you think those kind of factor into this contract situation with Amari Cooper.
There is a couple of ways to look at this. We all believe that Nick Chubb will be a part of this team at some point this season, but we all did feel at some point last year, even if Nick had stayed healthy and Deshaun had stayed wealthy, there was going to be basically the switching, the changing of the guard, if you will, where this was going to become an offense that was led and featured the arm of Deshaun Watson as opposed to the legs and the running ability of Nick Chubb. Sadly enough, we never really got to the point for either of those players where we saw that come to fruition. Nick leaving in week 2 and, Deshaun leaving, right after the Raven game and his season being ended there. But you think there could be a change in statistical output for Amari Cooper. If the Browns really, really throw the ball well, maybe Amari reaches the numbers he had the last couple of seasons. But you still want to make Jerry Jeudy a big part of this offense. And, with what David Njoku did last year, how many targets does that mean Amari Cooper is going to get this year? You have Tillman, you have Bell, who, found a way to contribute down the end last season. Big play against the Jacksonville Jaguars, had a great game to close out the regular season against Cincinnati Bengals, caught 7 passes, not a lot of yards against Houston in the playoff game. And then, of course, you drafted Jamari Thresh as well. There's a lot of guys to throw the ball to. So this could work two ways. Either the coverage focuses on Amari Cooper so the younger guys can prove themselves. And if the younger guys prove themselves, all of a sudden the coverage gets a little bit easier and a little bit lax as far as Amari Cooper because you have to give the respect to everybody else. You factor in Jerry Jeudy and, there's going to be guaranteed, targets. There's going to be manufactured targets for Jerry Jeudy. The Browns did not pay him this amount of money to just have him come in and to be labeled a wide receiver too. They think he's a guy that can give them solid production. But, we know that, the Browns have felt this way, under an analytic regime. This is why Nick Chubb played last season without any future money. Amari Cooper does not want to be in that position to play this season without any future money because, you saw what happened to Nick. So it's a way it can work for all parties. Amari Cooper, I don't think he's going to be as satisfied as he would like to be. Because as it goes on, the Browns believe there's going to be a growth path for Jerry Jeudy. They believe there's going to be a growth path for Cedric Tillman. So that doesn't mean, Amari Cooper's days in Cleveland are done this season or necessarily next season. But once you get to about 26, you think that, Jerry Jeudy may have gotten to the point where he established himself as a number 1 wide receiver or a strong number 2. Cedric Tillman possibly knocking on that door. You want to see what David Bell can give you for the last couple of years in his rookie deal. You certainly want to see what Jamari Thresh can give you. So it's a lot to be put in. I don't think the Browns are going to let Amari, for what he did the last 2 years, play this year, and basically have a lame duck contractual season. I think the Browns are willing to make it worth his while. I think just Amari and his camp are going to have to understand it just may not be the big payday that they are hoping for.